Hi, everyone. This is Colette Marie Stefan, and you are listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. I just want to let you know that we won't be taking any callers today because, of course, it's Christmas Day, December 25th. But I decided that I wanted to do a special recording, and we will air it live on Facebook so that you can see me. and uh, oh, this is Stella, my little co-host, and she likes to hang out with me when I'm doing the radio show. So um, I am the founder of The Truth is Funny, and I'm also the creative inspiration behind Tales from the Vector, which is a dragon deck that I've been working on for about 13 years now, working on number 63 right now, and just one more to go. So that's my Christmas present to myself, is that I've just been allowing myself to paint and do my artwork as much as I want this week. So if you're listening to this right now live, then it probably means one of two things. Are you a rebel without a clause? Perhaps you don't really partake in the festivities and it's not your thing. So, I want to address that. And I also want to address for those of you who maybe are having kind of a rough day. This is why I like to make sure I make myself available for people in this way, just to do some general energetic shifting for those of you that maybe are having a rough time. And if someone, so I'm just going to sort of gather this energy together and just strengthen for everyone. Like if you're hiding in the closet in the back room because your relatives are about to come, and you just don't want another, Christmas fight at the dinner table, or, whoever, whatever happens, that the batteries, all work in all the toys and like all of that stuff. So, I'm going to work on that for you also. But first, I would just like to address for the people that perhaps, have lost a loved one, or you have someone, that's ill right now, or you're ill, or perhaps you've had a big fight in the family and you're not speaking to each other or anything like that. We just want to strengthen for everybody that like there's a lot of grief actually on this day, for like, because it's supposed to be such a beautiful day and it's supposed to be so exciting, and when things are going really well, and then Christmas and the other holidays around this time of year, not just Christmas, but we just happen to be on December 25th. um, those days can be extremely challenging when people are in situations where, as I said, they've got some things going on that are not that much fun. So, this show is called Nuggets of Wisdom from the Vector, and that's because in my book, in every chapter, I do share a nugget of wisdom from my book. And so I'm just going to share with you what I wrote in here a little bit about Christmas, okay? A lot of people just, this is for the people who are a rebel without a clause. Okay, so upholding traditions for the holidays is a huge distraction for average people who willingly embrace or begrudgingly participate in diversions that essentially remove them from their goals for much of the season. Many are held hostage by their overspending for months after. So at the same time, big business is getting ahead, cashing in, and reaping the benefits. So the nugget of wisdom from the vector is just tidings of comfort and joy. A lot of people say things are going from bad to worse, and there's all this angst in the world. And one of the major things is that because we have internet, if we're lucky, I had a little technological problem with my internet right before we started this. So, one time I was interviewing someone on this radio show, and he was at the foot of the Himalayan mountains, and he had better internet than me in my house here in Kelowna, Canada. So, it's good to have a sense of humor around that. But so I just wanted to address this idea that things are going from bad to worse, and Christmas is so commercialized right now, and all of that energy. Really, a lot of people participate in the holiday seasons without and they celebrate in specific ways without even realizing where some of these traditions actually came from. And so, you know, for a lot of people, like one of the different ways that a country that I thought, now this is pretty interesting, is the shamans in Siberia, how they get ready for Christmas. And um, the tradition always was that they would give out magic mushrooms, the Amanita muscaria, and they called them holy mushrooms. And so in Siberia, they would give these out on the solstice. The solstice is coming up on the 22nd, and then the reason why the pine trees were part of their story is because that's where these mushrooms grow underneath, and they are the gifts that are under the pine tree. And then the funny thing is, that's why I had to share this, is that I thought it might make some of you laugh. So the reindeer, apparently, like there's a lot of they have a lot of reindeer that they use for herding and riding, etc. And apparently the reindeer really like the mushrooms also. So they when Santa is going flying with his reindeer, it's because the reindeer ate the mushrooms too. I mean, this is too funny. You couldn't make this stuff up. And when you think about Rudolph's nose, like a big red mushroom on the end, leading the way for the trip. And then the shamans dressed in red and white, like mushrooms, and their costumes, actually, you can look it up on the internet. They actually wear red and with white polka dot costumes and that. And Santa comes from the North Pole, and they're in Siberia. And so I thought that was just kind of funny, and people might enjoy that. I mean, there's so many different versions of why we do the things we do and the rituals we get into at Christmas. So things aren't going from bad to worse. They're just going to generally more stuff, because we have more stuff available. And so we'll just talk about that when we come back. I'm just going to take a short break here. And when we come back, I'm just going to share the nugget of wisdom for Christmas, and then just strengthen everybody around their relationships. And I'm going to move on to the new year, because, Christmas, it's the excitement beforehand. And so we want to get ourselves prepared to move into the new year in 2020 in a really strong, powerful way. So this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. We'll be right back after this short break to make some shift happen. Hi, this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. It's December 25th, and I just wanted to share some energetic upgrades with all of you. I was just speaking to the rebels without a clause, the ones that just choose not to do Christmas, and actually the vast majority are not really that bothered by it, and because it's a choice. So just strengthening that, being able to be in a position where, you know, it doesn't have to be a grumpy decision or whatever. A lot of families just choose to celebrate at a different time because, like here in Canada, the travel conditions are so challenging at times. And quite often at this time of year, you know, you can end up sitting at the airport, you know, waiting for a flight for Christmas if, you know, if the way the weather comes in. So we just want to strengthen that for everybody, like safe travels, and that all of the plans that were put into place, and just recognizing that you're always in the right place at the right time, and that that if you just have that attitude regarding Christmas, and you know, just enjoy the day. I mean, I love Christmas. I love the idea of it, and this, you know, like all of the good memories and around it. Having said that, it's just something that I've kind of done with. And so I really cherish this time for myself to really go inward and to really work on myself and on my specific issues, and take a look at what I've accomplished in the year, and then take a look at the new year, and you know, start making strong choices moving into the future. So I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about those of you who are gathering with family. Let's just strengthen that, you know, that all of the family members, quite often, you know, we don't really know what someone's really going through. And so a lot of people have a lot of very charged memories and emotions around Christmas, even if nothing bad is happening at the time. There's a lot of, you know, anticipation, and then there's disappointment, etc. So we just want to strengthen like really, really purposeful communication between everyone who's joining and gathering together. And we want to just strengthen that the host of the event claims space in a peaceful, tranquil manner. And generally, if the person who is taking charge of Christmas, which, you know, like the people who are having the guests over, etc., if they set the tone for, you know, peace, and just have that energy established before people arrive, then usually people are more able to stay in that space. And I forgot to mention, this is actually a painting that from my Tales from the Vector. And this one, everybody loves her. This is the Heart of Isis. This is about love and peace and joy. And as you can see, there's a poinsettia in the background, and her name is Joy. And so I wanted to share this painting. A lot of people find her very calming. When, you know, all of the energies that I work on are imprinted into these paintings as I paint them. And this is actually the original, and you can see she's adorned with crystals, as should be all shiny at Christmas. So I just wanted to read the Nugget of Wisdom for Christmas, and then I want to let's work on strong choices for the new year. So here we go. Nugget of wisdom from the Vector. So the media and big business are completely unemotional and focused on the financial opportunities available during the holiday season, targeting their advertising at children, teenagers, and parents. So those who put a lot of effort into the holidays have a tendency to do so out of sentimentality, and often suppressing the many mixed and combined emotions that are whipped into play. So strong external and internal boundaries are necessary for the torrent of dynamics of the collective influence to pass through without a negative effect. Delete reactions from the accumulations of Christmas past, present, and future, and let's prepare for the next most stressful holiday, which isn't New Year's Day, by the way. It's Valentine's Day, which is quite surprising. Over the years, Christmas does put a lot of people into a state where they're, hyper excited, and in a lot of people realize they're participating in Christmas more so than in Valentine's Day. So a lot of people will say, well, I don't even do Valentine's Day and I don't care about romance. And I still find that that holiday is one that's also very loaded because it kind of brings up issues around the heart. And so before we move on to the new year, I just want to say to those of you who are challenged today that we're just going to strengthen your authentic self triad and your body, soul, spirit, and just let's get strong to connecting to source energy and allowing that divine love in, that source energy is actually from within you. And so we want to really strengthen that for all of you, and a big energetic hug to you on a day that is that you're finding challenges in. And so we just want to really strengthen around that, the whole idea of being in a place where you're plugged into your heart and you look after yourself whatever the circumstances are. And we're just going to get everybody to the strong to the worst case scenario where it's always going to be this way, you're always going to be lonely, da 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 da, like that. And then getting strong to the other side where it's the best Christmas ever and you'll never ever have one as good as that, so the rest of them never measure up. And so we want to strengthen that. We want to strengthen peace for everyone, whatever their circumstances are in. And we want to send that peaceful, loving vibration out to, other parts of the world where there's, shift happening. And so, and we want to strengthen the joy and, the beauty of the meaning of Christmas, of how it's intended. And so we can all get into a place where that we just even if the people around are maybe more commercialized or whatever, that just recognizing that that's how people deal with things, and that we don't have to take anything personally on Christmas Day. It's more or any day really. And for me, I really like to encourage this for everyone, is to recognize that anytime that you put this much emphasis on one day, that it really puts a lot of pressure on everybody. And as I said, brings up a lot of stuff for people. And so we just want to really kind of allow ourselves not to take anything personally and give everybody else the room also, to go through what they're going through, and not, as I say, you do not have to attend every argument you're invited to. So I'm just going to strengthen that for everybody. And also, the final dragon for my deck is neutrality. And what she's already kind of coming in and saying is that, neutrality belongs at the kitchen table. And so we want to really strengthen that for everybody, having a really, like if you're having a meal together, having really purposeful communication and enjoying the good food and enjoying the good company, and kind of like letting go of the pressure for it to be perfect, that the meal could be, and the conversation even could be perfectly imperfect, which just means, just chill out and allow yourself to have a beautiful day, whether you're just celebrating by going out for a walk in the snow, or you just want to sit in bed all day, whatever you're doing, just do it. And we're just going to strengthen that for everybody, that that the different ways that people celebrate. I mean, look what they do in Siberia. So, so this is just kind of, all around the world, the different traditions, and just allowing everybody to respect that and really have an enjoyable day. As I said, I really want to work on the New Year's Eve. So, because a lot of people make resolutions, etc. And so I want to just strengthen that when we come back. We have to take another break here. And I was just going to say, we love to hear from you. We do love to hear from you, but we can't call in today. So, but I did receive quite a few emails and from people, and just on Facebook, and I just want to for you to recognize that that I'm sending a big energetic hug out to everybody that said, "Hey, I'm really kind of sad about Christmas," and I wanted to clear that out of the way. And when we come back, we will start working on all the great, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful shift that's going to happen in 2020. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Colette Marie Stefan, founder of The Truth is Funny and the creative inspiration behind Tales from the Vector. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. I'm your host, and I wanted to extend for all of you, happy holiday season. And so because my show landed right on December 25th, we were just talking about Christmas, doing some energetic shifts so that people could, maybe that were needing a little energetic boost, they could just listen now, later. And so this is what I was working on for the first half of the show. And now what I would like to do is focus on all the good stuff, all the good shift that's going to happen in 2020. And so what happens for a lot of people, like even if you think about like that we just had, Christmas we're having on the 25th, and then a week later, like it's kind of like that whole week is just kind of lost, and so that in between time and the energy before you get to New Year's, just wanted to clear any grief, leftover grief from Christmas, and really move into a stronger way. So I'm just going to read from my book. the a little bit about what I wrote about New Year's here and share the nugget of wisdom with you. And then I'm going to get into strengthening everybody with some of the 10 main resolutions that people generally make. And I'm just going to get them strong for everyone as we go. So almost half of North Americans make New Year's resolutions, and very few are successful in keeping them. So, whether you make New Year's resolutions or not, the collective influence of failing to keep them has an effect upon everyone. Every year, if you have mental, emotional, and physical fitness, you will be in alignment with your goals and able to move forward with ease. If you are not in alignment, you are more likely to fail along with the vast majority of humanity that makes New Year's resolutions. So, the nugget of wisdom from the vector: every time you fall asleep and awaken, it's a new day in a new year, because even seemingly small choices can steer you in a completely new direction and alter your reality in a matter of seconds. And I've seen this happen. We just uh, a couple weeks ago now, it'll be now, had a woman who had called in from to the radio show a couple times. And when I asked, where are you on, there's a little bit of cat here, where are you on the scale? Because I take a baseline, 10 being hair on fire, press the panic button, and 0 being like I'm totally neutral. And she had a really, really like above 10 pain in her leg. She called into the radio show a couple times, and she was like not totally pain free, but the pain she described down to a 2 and a 1 most of the time, which was a huge improvement because it was 3 years that she had had an accident, since she had had the accident when she was in pain. And so I love to hear about those results from people, that have called into the radio show, you brave souls. So right now I'm going to talk about New Year's resolutions and what the number ones are, and I'm just going to energetically tune in and just see what's the number one weakness for being able to keep that resolution. So one of the most popular resolutions are, people say they're going to lose weight. And so most people are not in alignment with losing anything. If and they have a tendency to try and find what they lost. If you've ever lost your keys, the first thing you do is you run around looking for them. And so this is what they call dieting. And have you noticed it's more challenging to be on a diet during the holiday season? So a lot of people, it's kind of funny because, like I said, we've got Christmas Day, and then a week later we've got New Year's Eve. And generally, New Year's Eve, if you made resolutions, about different foods, and not drinking, but spirits, or all smoking, all of these things. Generally, those things happen on New Year's Eve for a lot of people. And then what happens is they've already blown their resolution by the time, and it's just, an hour after midnight. So I just want to strengthen that for everybody, that if you recognize that um, the word lose triggers people into wanting to find. And so we're just going to strengthen like the words people use. I have a telespa. It's a teleconference call that is on my website. You can check it out. I should just mention that's at thetruthisfunny.com, and it's called telespa. But I have one that's called Fat Wallet Skinny Jeans, and I talk about on that one about how there's a lot of people don't really care what they weigh. They're more concerned really with fitting in their skinny jeans. And one of the leading weaknesses for people gaining weight is when they are worried about finances. And a lot of people in the Christmas mode, like, as I said, quite often overspend, and then they're held hostage for, a month or even the whole next year, just to catch up financially again because they overspent and, you know, get involved in the sentimentality of that. So we want to strengthen that for everybody, that, when the bills start coming in, from Christmas, we want to, that's when people tend to get the flu and colds, etc. And the cold and flu on an energetic level are about grief. And so a lot of times people will kind of feel bad when the bills come in and they realize, oh, now we got to pay for this shift. Okay. Another one that people say that they want to do is get organized. And so if it helps you out any, you are, or empowers you, you are actually a part of the perfect organization of the universe. And so just, getting everybody strong to that idea. As I said, once again, there is perfect organization is very valuable. And so with the Tales from the Vector, the card that I would pick for that one would be Reckless Abandon, which is WRECKLESS. So Reckless Abandon is about being very organized, and it's our declutter card. And it's amazing. A lot of people have really they reported really good results just by, like, because these cards, if you look at them, you put it somewhere in a room that you want to organize, and you put it up there, that it would actually remind you, okay, declutter, declutter. The important thing about being organized is that it brings a peacefulness and an ability to make really strong choices. When people are living in a lot of clutter, quite often then they will feel cluttered, and it also clutters the body, the lymphatic system, all of that. We're just going to strengthen all that for everybody, that that the organization in your home can really benefit you. And so then when in times, and, I was just talking about this, I'm working with Morgan B and Lucy Anchard on the Replenishing Life project, which is, they're talking about how to avoid burnout, etc. And as I said on there, when people are more organized and then the shift hits the fan, you're better able to deal with with anything that might come up. So we're just going to get that strong for everybody, like organization in all the systems of the body, and organization in the systems of the cells, and then organization down to the quantum particles, and then all the way back up again to the molecular. Just coming up, the molecular is where we manifest from. So we want to strengthen that for everybody to come back up to be able to manifest, and to pull that energy through all of, like, the fitness of being able to respond rather than react to any given situation. And so when we react, we tend to have emotional. It's generally coming from an emotionally weak state of being, and so we want to strengthen this for everybody. That that this reckless abandon, where you're organized, you have everything lined up, you know what your plan A is, you know what your plan B is. I know this sounds like a lot, but what I found is that once I really kind of, I'm becoming more and more and more a minimalist, and I love it. And so I love when I open my cupboards up and there's room to put things still. And I love when, I open, my closet doors, and I can see exactly which clothes I have to wear. And, in the drawers, and just, not opening things up and things just falling out all over the place. And just knowing where the scissors are, and knowing where the tape is. So those things, when we get really busy, and a lot of times when we have young children in that, it's more challenging at that time to do. But the people that do manage to declutter and put themselves into this organizational mode, they have a tendency to have a stronger way of being able to handle life's little emergencies. Uh, are are we, Zach? Are we at the break time? Hello. Oh yeah. Yeah, just about there. Okay, I thought I got correcting so much here because I'm a real big fan of the declutter thing. I just lose track of time a little bit. So when we come back, I'm going to share some of the other energetic upgrades that for the other people that are talking, like about the other main resolutions that people have a tendency to make, just to strengthen everybody that there that resolution is kind of like not something you can force yourself to keep. It has to be something that you have decided for yourself is important to you so that you can become the best version of yourself. So this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio, and we'll be right back right after this short break. Hi, this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. You can get in touch with me at thetruthisfunny.com. And if you're interested in looking at some of my paintings and my energy correcting cards, you can check that out at TAILS, Tales from the Vector.com. And I just wanted to mention that Illuminate is looming. And I'm so stoked. I've been invited to set the tone at the Illuminate Psychic Fair, which will be on Thursday night, along with the fabulous Elizabeth Beeds, who's always so much fun to hang out with. And the fair is a 4-day fair. So that is on Thursday, the 30th and the 31st, 1st and 2nd of February. And so I'll have my booth there. I'll be doing 3-card consultations throughout the fair, and I'll have my dragon team there. And we all just love to connect with everybody at the fairs. It's so much fun. I'll be at the Holistic Fair at the Laurel Packard Building on June 12th, which is 11 to 4 in Kelowna. That's the first one of the year, so it's going to be exciting. It's always good to see everybody there again, and the people that wander through it, etc. It's a lot of fun. And then I'm also part of the Replenishing Life project with Morgan B and Lucy Ann Shard, and they're launching that on the 22nd. And on January 25th, I will be interviewed by them and will be answering question and answer period for people. And I do have upcoming seminars. You can check those out. Those are two baby steps in March and May, and then a layer one and a layer two. Layer one in June, layer two in September. I just got a newsletter out and got all the contracts signed at the hotel, etc. So those dates are for sure now. And so I'm really looking forward to all this fun stuff that's going to be happening here. Um, so back to resolutions. So another one that people say is that they want to enjoy life to the fullest. And so, it's important when people make a statement like that, that they actually make define for themselves and probably for others, if you could, what that really means. So, because if I find when people write down their goals and they're specific that about their goals, that they have more of a tendency to choose to take action upon the consistent steps of action that are required for them to achieve that goal. And so a lot of people will be saying they want to stay fit or they want to get fit, so that they can be healthy. And so we're just going to strengthen this, that health is a given. Your body knows how to go back to homeostasis. We're going to strengthen that for everybody. And also that, you have to get out of your own way. And so what I mean by that is all of your systems need to be fit. So when people think about fitness, they generally think about just physical fitness. But what I would like to point out is it's really powerful to be fit in many ways, so that you are fit to be a mother, you are fit to be a father, you are fit to be a daughter, son, you're fit to be, a lawyer, a radio show host, whatever. So fitness is actually what a lot of people, when people do not have fitness in their physical body, they have a tendency to, a lot of people have a tendency to call that a health issue. But because, and I'm talking also not like about going to the gym, being fit that way, but being mentally fit, but emotionally fit, and being able to have all the systems in the body individually fit, so that we're just going to strengthen this for everybody. Like the central nervous system would be like the hard drive of your computer. So we want to strengthen that, any scrambled signals coming in or going out, that those would be strengthened and they would also have fitness. So we're just going to, just tune that in, so that people have that thought that, really being fit is, there's a lot of elements to fitness. And maybe one show I'll do those on one of the radio shows here. So the other thing is that a lot of people will say, learn something exciting and new. And I say, hang out with babies. They'll show you how. I just love watching babies, even like baby people, baby puppies, baby kittens, baby chickens. You watch little babies, they have an innate curiosity of wanting to touch and sense, and quite often, they're quite fearless about it. And when you consider what a baby learns, and a human baby learns in their first year, it's pretty incredible. So everything's exciting. And so allowing some of that innocence to just enjoy it. Innocence isn't naivety. Innocence is when you understand what's going on around you, but you make a choice that you are going to come from a joyful place in your heart. and that's how you're going to, that's where your perception is going to come from. So it's strengthen that for everybody. um, Another one is quit smoking, and the number one weakness for this is quite often, people have limiting beliefs, and that being a quitter. This is kind of funny when you think about it. This is one time that it would be great to be a quitter. But if I'm working with people that want to quit smoking and I say, would you say you're a quitter? They'll be like, no, I won't. I don't quit for anything. And I'm like, well, let's energetically shift that. So that comes up as a weakness for a lot of people. And also the whole idea of being in a place where, you know, um, pushing too hard to to be able to get where you want to go. So we want to strengthen for everybody ease and effortlessness. Zach, how many minutes do we have left here? Okay, cool. So I didn't get through the whole list, but the one that I did want to address is spend time with the family. I say invest your time with your family and enjoy it. Enjoy the people that are coming and going for you this week. And as I said, for those of you that if you're listening now, perhaps you don't have people that you're not going to be with family. Recognize that that we are all united, and that nothing is ever always the same way. And things, when people say never get better, we're just going to strengthen that every single minute of this holiday season, that we strengthen each other, and just want to pull in some of this beautiful joy energy. And like dragonflies, they like to fly. They can move with such grace and beauty, and they shine in the sunlight. And so we're just going to strengthen that for everybody, is just to enjoy the shiny things at this time of year and to shine on. So we'll be back on January 1st, on New Year's Day. And so this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. Just want to say lots of love to all of you. And thank you, Zach, for producing this show, and for Dr. Pat and your team. Thank you so much. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. And for everybody out there, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you like it said. Bye for now. We'll see you next Wednesday.